everything. Yeah, you just posted that. It was looking good.
No, Sebastian was talking to me about his posing routine and the music that he's choosing.
What do you think?
I like the music. It's going to be...
He always picks good music.
The music's going to be good. It's just, I really want him to focus on not trying to fit so many fucking poses in. I want him to be like, look.
Hold the pose.
Hold 10 poses max. I know you got 60 seconds, and a lot of times, again, people just tend to really shove as many poses as they can into the routine, and it looks trash. It looks garbage. That's what I believe classic physique posing is not, right? Now, if you want to do the artistic side of things, there has to be movement, somewhat of a story being told into the climax of one singular pose. Hold that for a couple seconds. Now we're transitioning, doing something else into another pose. And I think that's the most artistic, that's the most storytelling, that's what's going to catch the eye. And then, I mean, just...
Is this live right now?
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's there.
I was say we have like literally the best pose I've ever seen. Justin Fine. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to really get some posing tips, man, go watch this man hit his poses last time when he did classic.
Absolutely the man when it comes to posing. How'd you develop that skill?
Zero practice. Zero practice.
No, literally zero practice, pretty much. Yeah, dude, that was so fucking funny. I don't know if you guys don't know. We'll maybe put up the video of him going out there with him posing, and he like comes up, he hits like one pose, turns around, hits another pose, and just walks off stage.
He was up there for a second, like, all right, I'll do another front pose.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he was like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah,
you know,
that's not for me.
Yeah. So he did do classic, and he did bodybuilding, he did physique. So what happened with classic and physique bodybuilding? What happened with that? Do you like that?
No, I don't like those.
Why? What happened?
There's too much to remember.
Too much to remember?
Yeah, I don't like that much practice, honestly.
That's true.
It's not for me.
You like just walking out there and that's just in the front. But you did like physique, right?
Yeah, physique was good. 2 poses
See?
to leave.
Yeah.
See y'all later.
Very, very easy and simple in that regard.
Yeah.
Right?
Much better.
Yeah. So just a little backstory, guys. We do have Justin, one of my best friends in the world, here today to tell his story about how he transformed his life, right? We put out the transformation. Everyone's seen it. Literally broke the fucking internet. Like, the best transformation I think I've ever done in my entire life. So let's go back in time, man. Like, when you were heavier set and you first came into me, what made you change? What was like what did it for you?
I don't honestly remember. I was just tired of being fat. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, tired of being fat?
Fat enough. I weighed like 320 pounds at one point, and then I was like, oh, fuck. So I was just like, either keep getting fatter or don't get fat anymore. Either way, life's going to suck, so you got to pick your way to suffer, I guess.
Pretty much. And why did we decide to do 5 o'clock in the morning for 7 days a week?
That was original? Just fucking, we're doing 5.
Yeah, I was working a lot of the time. I dedicated 99% of my time to work, so I was working at 7 in the morning, and I'd go till like 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And then when I started going to the gym, I slowly transitioned to like fuck work, kind of, and spent more time in the gym. So after like the first few weeks, it was easier to prioritize the gym over, like the work's going to be there at fucking 11 o'clock, or it's going to be there at 9 o'clock. It's going to be there whatever time I get there, or it's not, either way, but I'll do what I got to do before I go.
Yeah.
Guys, this is how committed this guy was to drop this weight. This motherfucker stopped working after a month. Like, let's be honest here. He gave up the fucking job. He said, I'm done working.
No more.
And I'm done being fat. So let's still go about that a little bit. Did you quit your job?
Yeah, I mean, we stopped for like, I didn't work for a year probably.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, no.
We're not playing. Guys, it was a year of no work for this body, bro.
He said, did you see these gains?
I started fucking around in the stock market, and I figured out how to make a little bit of money. And then when I did that, I was like, well, fuck this. I'm not gonna work every day and go to the gym, and then I can just prioritize one or the other and survive. So I may as well do that for now.
I got you.
It's easier. Then we didn't go to the gym till like 11 at that time. So it was like, what?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna drive. At that point, I was driving like 3 hours to work. I owned a business, and we were just doing work all over the place, and it was just miserable. So it's a really easy decision.
It was. And, you know, one thing I want to get into is your rampant drug issue. Let's talk about that a little bit. You know, so people don't understand, guys. We might play all the games we want, but what did we do what did we do for the first probably 6 months we worked together?
I think like 6 or 9 months, he wouldn't give me drugs. He wouldn't let me know where to get them. And I'd never been to the gym before, so I didn't know anybody. I wasn't going to just walk up and ask random people where I could get fucking drugs because I didn't know. that was the thing. If I did, I would have done that. I'd have been on drugs from day one. But Just,
But what did I tell you from day one?
I had to not be fat before I was allowed to take drugs.
Exactly. So the drugs, guys, are a secondary to the basics, right? Yeah. And the transformation that we made, and I was actually prepping at the time. I was prepping for my 2021 for the Panhandle show, right? And Justin, it got to the point where like, dude, I can't go 5 o'clock in the morning anymore. Like, why don't you just be my training partner? And that's kind of how we really got really close. Right. And he pushed me really hard for that show. And without you, I don't think we'd have the overall today, because this man was waking up, coming with me, doing fasted cardio, post-workout cardio, literally twice a day. We were doing cardio twice a day together. Yeah. And it helped you because you were able to transform. And then it helped me because you were able to push me for the show. So we went there, we did it. And, I don't think people understand, man, that, it's fuck all the drugs. Like, we did the hard work in the beginning, right? We got off probably 70 pounds, 80 pounds maybe?
Yeah, I think I was like 230 before I started taking drugs. And I mean, I was probably 280 when I came to you, and I was 320 at my heaviest. So, I mean, it was 50 or 60 pounds before I even touched a little bit of tests. At that point, I started, obviously it progressed down the road, but I started
we'll get to it
with just a little bit of test. You know what I mean? No big deal.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much. And it
was just 250 cc's of test.
And you blew the fuck up.
Yeah, pretty.
Unbelievably. Guys, this man walking to the gym is like a gorilla, bro. Like a corn-fed. You want to talk about a corn-fed absolute monster?
Yeah, he's fucking.
Like, it's fucking Justin. Like, he could just put muscle on. But how important do you think the training was? Because I did take you anything I wing, taught you everything I knew. How important do you think that was?
The training was really important. Being able to, like, immediately know what to do. You know what I mean? Having that support, and then being able to just have, at that point, someone there that I knew and was able to push me, because it was just like an uncomfortable place. I think a lot of people are just starting the gym. It's just not, you know what I mean? It's foreign to you.
Absolutely.
Kind of feel like everybody's looking at you, and you're like, fuck, I'm fat. Everybody's not fat. This is not where I want to be. Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ. And, but it's not like that. But at first, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially when you're fat your entire fucking life. It's like ingrained in your head that people are staring at you because you're fat. Right. And then it's hard to go to places where, I think a lot of people have that struggle when they're heavier, where they're like, they're almost embarrassed to try to lose the weight, to be where, you know what I mean? So it's absolutely like a stigma that I think a lot of people try to break, but,
I mean, we definitely get pretty paranoid and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Which brings me to my next question. How long were you smoking weed?
I mean,
how like forever, right? So that's another thing too, because like you can be in the gym, you just fucking freshly smoked, right? You're chilling there,
I mean, Matt will tell you,
and you're just like,
you guys don't understand.
All these motherfuckers are looking at me for sure. Why am I here? How the fuck do I use this machine?
Yeah,
I'm trying to hit chest. Why am I on a back machine? No,
literally.
I mean, that never really bothered me. I've been smoking weed for like 15 years.
Bro,
so, like, it was just one of those things where like,
I think
if I could get high, I guess maybe it would affect me, but now it's just like people smoke cigarettes and it's no problem.
Yeah.
So if I smell like weed and you smell like cigarettes and you got a problem with it, I guess you can get fucked. You know what I mean? I don't really know what to tell you. So,
yeah, exactly.
It kind of is what it is in that.
Fun story actually about Justin, how the first day I met him, I think he actually tripped when he was walking in the door to the gym, right? Tripped, I think some weed fell out here, he picked it up in his pocket, went and sat down. Guys, this guy does a lot of hard work, right? He really does work hard. So imagine like grease and like just fat and just weed, just all in one person, just came and sat down in front of me. I was like, who the fuck is this guy right here? He smells like a bag of fucking weed plus like all the hard manual labor, right? And it was funny, bro. It was funny. I actually tell that story all the time because you literally came to me like, there's no way this guy is going to be able to do it, but something was in his eyes because I just knew he was going to fucking do it. And he committed from day fucking one, man. Like day one, 100,000,000%. Literally gave up his job. Who do you know is going to give up your job to get a body? You ever met someone like that?
No.
That's Justin.
Yeah.
Fucking nailed it, dude.
It was just a situation that I was able to, it's not reality. A lot of people can't do it. I really couldn't have done it if I didn't have a little bit of luck, but,
Well, I don't think it was luck at all. I think it was just hard work, and you were just fed up, So what drove you to that spot to reach out to me? What drove you there?
Honestly, I think I just saw you on Instagram. 100%. One of my buddies went to you, and I saw it was posted on Instagram, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Who is it, Lugo?
Yeah, Lugo. I was like, I wonder how much that is. So then I think I DM'd you. Mm-hmm. And then you were just getting started. You didn't have, one or two clients at that point. Mm-hmm. And then I was like your first full-time client. We were going 7 days a week.
Yeah.
that was off the rip 7 days a week, and maybe a month in after that you started prepping. And I was like, well, fuck, that's an opportunity. So I switched my time to start going with him, but then 9 was a little bit hard for us to get to. So I was like, all right, well, fuck work, let's ride.
That's actually the problem that I'm having with Lugo right now.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're supposed to be, we run 5 days together, and he's having that same situation. Obviously he owns his own company. He's busting his ass, and, there's just certain times, hey, man, I got a meeting. I'm here. I got to,
Yeah.
And he's always.
I don't think people understand that, man.
You just got to get him to quit now.
When you're that busy, though, it's hard because, especially when you're making the money, like I know really all of us, bro, we all pretty much came from nothing. Let's be honest. Like, all of us came from pretty much nothing, especially Lugo. Like, that man, for him to come as far as he came, God, I just want to give him a hug every time. That's why I give him a hug every time. You know what I'm saying? Because he really is one of those kids that transformed his life, and now he's killing it. So it's hard when you go from literally having nothing to starting to make it. You don't want to let it go, right?
Absolutely.
So you almost feel like you don't want personal time for yourself, because if Lugo takes an hour out of the day or just takes an hour out of the day, then it's like, I could be going backwards. And so that's why it's hard to make 100%. That decision when you're that busy, And I think Lugo, we'll work with him. He comes for 30 minutes. He's come 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
No,
we'll do it.
He always does good when he's in the gym. It's just, at this point, trying to get him in there. We're just trying to find a time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sacrifice. I sacrificed the business over it, that I had to come back and start over again.
Yes.
I lost clients. I mean, Matt knows that struggle. I lost clients. I had to, a year and a half later, I decided I needed to go back to work. And I had to start from scratch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it was kind of one of the, there's definitely sacrifice to it. I'm not saying everyone go do it unless you got someone to pay your fucking bills.
Right.
If mommy and daddy ain't got no money for you, it's not a good recommendation. Or you come into a little bit of money where you can support yourself. Mm-hmm. But there's it's your dedication. It's hard to do both. You're going to be dedicated one way or another.
100%. For sure.
So I guess you got to pick your dedication and see where you want to spend your time.
Now, where did the rampant drug use come in? Let's talk about that for a little bit.
I honestly don't remember. I think it was just I was fat for so long that I wanted to be the opposite of fat.
No matter what?
Whatever.
No matter what, it doesn't fucking matter.
So when did it come in, right? Like, let's just say about a year after, right? I'd have to, guys, I'm really just playing. Like, his does not have rampant fucking drug issue, but he does take PEDs. Yeah. Give us a little rundown on your insulin addiction.
I haven't taken insulin in a long time. I was only on insulin for like a little bit. We're talking 3 months.
And what happened with that?
I mean, I recommend that you understand what an IU is. You take it, obviously, but it's fucking, it's quality.
Bro, so tell us what happened then. What happened with insulin?
You get sweaty sometimes.
Sweaty?
I understand that.
You take a little bit too much, you forget to eat.
So what's a little bit too much? What's a little bit too much? All right.
Like 10 times too much?
Less than 40, pretty much. About 10 times too much.
10 times too much.
10, 11 times too much.
So what happened was this freaking guy, right? I didn't even know he was taking insulin. I literally did not know. He hides shit from me, right? So I didn't even know he was taking insulin. Fucking one of my best friends doesn't tell me shit. So he came to the gym one time, bro, and he was like shaking unbelievably like this. And I started talking like, what are you doing? Like, he's like, I'm taking insulin. I'm like, okay, how much you take? He's like, I think he was like, I do the 4. I'm like, what do you mean 4? Like 4 IUs
to
or
be fair, I was
4?
told that by somebody.
Well, come on. You could have asked me.
Obviously, I didn't get the best advice.
So long story short, instead of taking 4 IUs, he was taking 40.
Yeah.
He was going up to 0.4.
Yeah.
Bro, he was like this. I was like, dude, we need to go to fucking Smoothie King right now and get some cookies, bro. So we let it go to Smoothie. He's shoveling cookies, bro. He's just drinking. He's like this. We're going to put up the video, guys. He was like this, shaking his ass off. Brink of death. But you were doing that for 2 weeks.
But at that point, I weighed I put on like 30 pounds in a month. Not of lean muscle, obviously, but I went from like 260 to 290 pounds. It's fucking stupid.
I would say he's the only man I've ever met in my life, guys, that can fluctuate between 230 and 270 in the matter of a few weeks. Like, you put on muscle quick.
I was 265 fucking 6 weeks ago, I think.
I know. Now what are you weighing?
234 this morning.
Yeah. So he changes very fast. Why do you think that is? Do you think that's genetics, or do you think that's hard work, or what do you think, drugs? What do you think it is?
I think I just control my diet really well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I will put my place into a suffering that doesn't really, it's like almost tunnel vision. I'll just suffer. Mm-hmm. Like I know if I'm suffering, it's working. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anyone tells me. It doesn't matter if someone says I need to eat. If I'm not happy with the way I look, I know there's a point of suffering that I can get to that will eventually achieve the result that I want. It might take me fucking 3 weeks of that suffering or 4 weeks of that suffering, but if I just dial into that, I can reap the benefits of fucking 15 weeks worth of work in 5 weeks. And it's just a better way for me.
Yeah.
The gradual approach is never good for me. It's very easy to slip and slide.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's probably because you've seen what I did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For the many shows that I did, you've seen how to fucking do it. So
Well,
you
I've seen
know.
prep, so I know the diet. I know the dedication has to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like,
So what's your advice to people that are just scared to get in here? Fat people that are just scared, man. What's your advice to them?
I don't really think anybody looks at anybody. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. And mostly if people are looking at you and you're fucking something up, they're going to tell you and try to help you. So like make fun of you. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's a huge misconception that we get a lot of the times, you know, because I mean, again, the gym's a very daunting place. It's something that people are discouraged to go to. You know, they're scared to walk through those doors. But eventually, once they get in there and they understand what you just spoke about in terms of us bodybuilders, not necessarily being somebody who's going to put somebody down, but we're rather trying to look around and help people up. So.
The majority of and even most of the majority of the bigger guys in there are nicer dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people that look like they're dedicated, anytime you need help or you go ask a question to them, they're always going to help you. And very rarely you're going to find somebody that's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. Most of the people are there. They like the interaction. They want to meet people because there's like a good camaraderie.
Absolutely.
To it, you know what I mean? So I don't think anyone really minds giving anybody advice.
Not at all.
You know?
And I think you came from both sides of the spectrum, right? Like you were exactly what you said. You were kind of scared to go to the gym. You thought everyone was going to stare at you.
Oh, yeah.
You thought that, right? But now that you're big and you are one of the biggest guys in the gym at all times, 100%, period. Have you ever looked at somebody who's fat and been like, wow, that person's fat and made fun of them? To this day?
No.
Never, right?
No.
Why is
The
that?
only thing we make fun of is gym stinky people.
Yeah.
There's a certain scent where you don't take your clothes out of the dryer, and it is absolutely fucking inexcusable.
Yep.
There is not a nice way to put it. Please leave.
So what would you do if somebody came by you, they were smelling?
I mean, you almost just have to let them know because maybe sometimes they think it's normal, but there's no nice way to let them know, so you kind of just have to vacate.
So you just leave them?
You just leave.
You can't talk to them?
No, you can't stomach the smell long enough. It's abort mission. There's definitely another machine somewhere else that has the same purpose.
So you've never? We used to actually get really upset. I get loud.
I mean, yeah.
You know, I
There's
get
a way
really
to do it
loud.
where you get loud, and then you're like, oh, I don't want to embarrass the person. So, you kind of, it's just, in today's world, it's not worth looking like a dickhead for no reason.
That's true. You did yell at that old lady, though. You know what I'm saying? That one time on the treadmill. You know, the CNN lady.
Yeah, she was, not very nice to us.
Tell them about that one.
Some CNN lady.
We stole her
think
TV,
it
bro. We were on her treadmills.
Yeah. Well, we had, 2 treadmills that we used every day. Every day. And we had been going to the gym at this point in his prep for, 12 weeks. And it was a 16-week prep. And at this point, we were doing, 2-a-day workouts, 2 days at the fucking gym and cardio. These were our treadmills. No, nobody else used the treadmills. They're far in the corner. Nobody used them.
Yeah.
And this lady comes as we've been walking for 20 minutes, talking, just us, completely off in our corner, gets on next to us with her mask on because it's
for sure.
completely cool to walk on a treadmill with the mask or whatever. But we obviously were airing our grievances and speaking about Trump, and that was just not acceptable to her. I don't remember exactly what was said, but
Well, all I know is that she was not okay with us being in front of the CNN TV. Yeah. That's what, seriously, guys, the CNN TV was right there. We just go on the same treadmills. We don't know we don't know what fucking TV. We're not even watching this shit. But I think something came up and we were just talking shit, like Biden, you idiot, blah, blah, just going crazy.
Yeah.
And this lady looks, and what does she say to you?
I don't remember.
She pretty much was like, I don't appreciate that tone or something like that. And Justin just looked at her and was like, there's the whole fucking treadmills. No, there's nobody there. You picked the one treadmill next to me and him. It's not my fault we're in front of the seat. And you started roasting him. Started roasting this poor old lady.
Some insanities involved, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm not,
But in our defense, you know what I'm saying, just leave us alone. You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to him. Shut the fuck up.
Shut your mouth, lady.
And that lady,
Typically, those
mind your
people are the
business.
ones that,
and you were as respectful as you possibly could. Tell her listen, leave us alone. We're not having this shit.
I imagine I probably asked her to shut the fuck up nicely before I told her to go somewhere else. But
Yeah.
I may not have probably.
So how did 2020 go for you? Because you came to me in 2021 when the world shut down and you were in your heavy era. What happened there with you?
I don't even remember that far, dude. I think 20. We started fixing fast food. I was fixing a lot of fast food shit. So I was just eating fast food left and right. And then, let's see, 2020. No, dude, I was a vegan.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean you were a vegan?
I was a vegan for like 2 years.
No, you were not.
Yeah.
No way. You got fat being a vegan?
No, so I was like, before I went vegan, it's wild, right? So before, all right, so my fucking.
Here we go. I've not heard this. Okay, that's how closed book this guy
We
is.
get some new
I was
tea.
a
Let's
vegan
go.
for like 2 years, in like 2017, I feel like.
Yeah.
One of the guys that I worked for was vegan, and he was like super conservative, and we hung out quite a bit, and we were talking about it, and then I watched this video. It was on fucking Netflix called What the Health.
Oh, I remember that shit.
Like that fucking documentary,
100%, bro.
And there's an allowable amount of pus that's allowed in dairy and chicken. And the video, they fucking cut it, and the pus comes out of the meat. Done. That's done. The amount of dedication I had to the gym, I had for not touching fucking dairy and meat.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. Like, I don't even want to think about it because I'll probably be vegan again. I can't do that right now, but if I could, thinking about it would drive me there.
Yeah.
You ever seen What the Health?
No.
No? Yeah,
No.
good. Because I wanted to
Kinda
go
gross?
vegan too.
No.
But I didn't.
Is it that nasty?
It looks nasty, bro. And they line all the pigs, and they go into this fucking machine, and the pigs are just like fucking stacking up against each other, right? And then all of a sudden it goes, whoosh.
Yeah.
Wait, they squish them?
Yeah.
They squish the pigs?
That's how I kill them.
For what though? For what?
food.
No, but I know. No, you squish the pig, that's fine. But then what is it? Is it like squish and then it's just like goo?
Well, they just do it so quick. that
Oh,
it's
so just
bam,
immediately
and then-
kills them?
Yeah. And now they're just.
Or they like drop them into gas chambers and shit. Which I mean, I don't care about the kill. That's not my
Yeah.
problem.
Plus, shit's gross.
My problem, literally, fucking do what you got to do, bro. I know people eat meat. I don't care. Who am I to tell you what to do, right? If I think you shouldn't kill them, it's not gonna fucking matter. You're still gonna do it. So do what you're gonna do. The pus thing.
Yeah, he does not like fat, man. We go out, he has to get filet mignon everywhere he goes.
Yeah, no.
Do you like ribeye?
No. I'll only eat like filet or chicken breast. I don't eat like chicken thighs.
Yeah.
Or pork. I don't like that shit.
I don't be eating pork anymore.
Little fat fucking shit. No.
But I'm never gonna forget. It was my national show, right? I actually had COVID for my national show when I got second call-outs, right? We were there.
Really?
You know, we had the worst experience at a restaurant, bro. And this man, all he wanted was fucking steak. Like, after my show, we hit 3 different restaurants, bro. This man only wanted fucking steak. I am so full, guys. We went to like 2-3 restaurants, bro. This full. And there was a place called Morton Steakhouse, which is phenomenal. By their bread, oh my fuck, bro.
Oh my God.
So
yes.
he calls him. You know, what did you tell the guy when you called him?
I think I said I'm white trash, but I'm fucking hungry. Can we eat there?
Yeah, he said, "Can we eat there?" And so he pretty much like we were all dressed. We weren't dressed up. Like I had like a baggy shirt on, I was fucking tanned up. It was after the
we
show.
were wearing like sweatpants.
Right,
And we
yeah.
were fucking not.
Yeah, we were just not dressed up. We didn't have any dress clothes. We weren't planning on this. And he calls and he was like, you know, or white trash people ought to come in here because we're white trash. Like we're gonna come, you know, whatever. So we walk in the
I
door.
need to order it to go, or can we slide through?
Hey guys, I'm so full, and Morton's is expensive. It's like $150 steaks,
It's
right?
not cheap.
It's not fucking cheap, and I'm so full I can't even eat. So we walk in there, and the first thing the guy says is, "You guys look like the white trash guys." He looks at him. He's like,
You got it.
He's like, "That's us." Bro, we were almost like celebrities there. Like, because people thought it was that funny that like we would just be dressing like random. Like not dressed up, walking in there. They fucking loved us, bro. Took pictures with it. It was so funny. But we spent like $500, and thank you, Justin, for paying for that one. He spent like $500 because he wanted a piece of steak. And guess how much steak he ate?
What, half?
Bro, he ate like we spent $400 on a fucking dinner when he ate this much steak. But he wanted it that bad where he was like, I gotta have my fucking steak. So yeah, it was just a little funny story. But yeah, man, so let's talk a little bit about what happened last year.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that is the big reason why, you know, not big reason why, but just another reason why it's just your story's fucking crazy. So what happened last year?
I mean, I got asthma, and then I went into a coma
Okay.
for a little bit.
Well, I think it was a little more than asthma. You know what I'm saying?
No, it was asthma.
No, it was like your fluid was building up. The fluid in your lungs.
Or pneumonia. not
Pneumonia,
asthma.
yeah.
Pneumonia, yeah. No, I got pneumonia, not asthma. Asthma,
Yeah.
you're good. Take a pill for that.
Yeah.
Pneumonia, there's a pill if the doctors give it to you, I guess. It's called fucking antibiotics, but my doctors weren't that smart in the beginning.
Well, what happened is that, you know, he pretty much got pneumonia. Tori called the ambulance, right? Got you. You try to fight everyone, right? You would not want to be sedated, okay?
Yeah, no.
So what'd they do?
I guess they put me into a coma. I don't know how they did it. It was some like eye shit.
They sedated him because he tried to fight everyone. He would not
Do
be
you have
sedated.
no recollection of any of that?
No. They said I fought like 14 nurses and some shit. I don't know.
It took like a bunch of people to hold him down because he was gonna die. Right? He couldn't breathe. He had pneumonia. His fluid it was almost completely up with
It
oxygen.
was like 90% full.
Yeah,
of fluid.
his face was turning blue. So by the time the doctors got him, they were like, "Justin, you're gonna die. You gotta relax. You gotta put a fucking tube down your throat, right?" So long story, they had to really sedate him hard, which I don't know if I agree with, but if I was there, I would have been able to calm him down. He was just scared. Like he didn't want to get put under.
He's fucking Rhino, dude.
He's a fucking monster.
Okay.
Throwing fucking nurses left and right. So they had to sedate him, and they had to pump you full of a lot of drugs that were unnecessary, I think, in my opinion. Fentanyl. What was the other one? Fentanyl.
A lot of painkillers.
Because he kept waking up. Kept trying to rip the tube out of his mouth and shit. So that's why they put you in the coma. But either way,
Okay, so eventually, whatever, they put me into a coma. But
and he was there for about,
I
5
guess
days?
Because I kept waking up. Yeah, I was under for like 5 days. I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks.
And then what happened when you got out?
I lost like fucking 60 pounds in the hospital. That was wild.
Crazy. Bro.
Absolutely fucking crazy. I went in like at 260 and I came out at fucking 190, I think.
That's so nuts, bro.
I remember him sending me a picture, and I was like, wow.
I know, he showed me that picture.
Wow,
Like,
I actually
what
posted
the
it.
Fuck?
Yeah. But here you go, dude. This ties back to like fucking drugs a little bit.
Let's explain this
It's
one.
gonna sound wild, but a lot of people, if they were like in a coma for a week and then they were laid up completely not mobile, and this is from the nurses and doctors, they would have had to go to like a rehab center.
Yeah.
And they would have had to be put through it. But when I went into the hospital, I mean, I was fucking 265 pounds. I was going to the gym twice a day. I was in really good shape. You know, I was 265 and I almost had visible abs through it at that fucking weight. I think that I lost a lot of muscle, but I had enough muscle that, I mean, they woke me up on like a fucking Wednesday, and by Friday I was on the second level and I was able to walk. Because originally they wanted to release me to a fucking rehab, and I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I won't do that. I think, being able to go in there healthier, and it's not just because of drugs, but in my case, because of the drugs, I had more muscle and less fat. I think I lost a lot of muscle, but I had enough to continue to like thrive.
Now, how did you feel mentally after that? Like, I know how you felt, but I want you to kind of talk about it. How did you feel mentally
I was never taking a drug again.
for like 2 weeks?
Yeah, I was never touching a drug again.
And why?
Nothing.
And a
No
drug.
weed. That's probably the longest I haven't smoked weed for. I wasn't gonna smoke weed again because I didn't know what it was, and one of the doctors said it was probably that I could have seizures from weed, and that just fucking tripped me out.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I don't want seizures.
So
But then I went to this other doctor who's like the doctor that actually saved me or whatever. Was my primary that I went to.
Yeah.
My initial primary, the scumbag, is why I'm in there. Because before I went into the hospital and went into a coma, I went and got admitted to another hospital here locally. And then my doctor, instead of giving me like IV antibiotics, when my lungs were 80% full of fluid, just sent me home. Mm-hmm. And then that night, the day I was released, one day after, I'm like 8 hours after I was admitted, then I went and had to be put into a coma.
Wow.
So, the whole thing was avoidable.
Thing could have been prevented.
Yeah, 100%. If they would have
100%.
given me the IV
And the
antibiotics the
then.
first time versus pills,
Yeah.
and just kept me in for like 2 days, no problem.
Like, imagine going to the doctors with 80% fluid and like, you're good. You go home, buddy.
Yeah, it was wild.
That's exactly what happened.
I went to the urgent care first, and the urgent care over here on Stickney Point, they were like, you're going to die. Just like that. They wrote on this paper, needs to admit, gonna die, transport, you got to go like right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'm going to drive myself because I want to get high.
Yeah.
So I was smoking weed on the way there. I was like,
I
fuck that.
gotta
Y'all
buy
gonna lock
this
me up for
cheaper.
3 days, I'm going to get fucking ripped. So I took my time over there, smoked a couple blunts, and then went into the ER. And then they hooked me up to all the machines. And every time I go in that place, they think I'm a fucking drug user. So it's look at you, like you're out there to get some fucking painkillers or something, which is stupid, but whatever. So, yeah, that's it.
How depressed were you after?
I got really small after, and I got like it really fucked with my head.
Oh, yeah.
Because I didn't think I was going to ever be able to recover it. Because to me, 70 pounds was a lot. And that took like such a long, at that point, it was like 2.5 years of consistent in the gym. Mm-hmm. And then all that was just flushed down the fucking drain. Sure, I wasn't as fat as I was before. I had leaned out, but I was less weight, but I had like a proportionate amount of fat and everything that I did before. And it was just like, fuck, dude. Probably lost 40 pounds of muscle. That's going to be like fucking 3 years for me to put that back on. I'm not doing this.
But it didn't.
No.
It did. So how soon did that idea of it never coming back go away?
I would say probably for like, I don't know, like the first 3 days I just sat at home. It was like fucking harder to do shit. So I was like, fuck this. I'm just mope around. And just did that for like 3 days. And then I woke up on like the fourth day and I was like, fuck this. I gotta do something. So I started going back to the gym and I did that for a little bit. And then probably for like 2 weeks after that, after I started to see a progressive weight gain, and I gained like 20 pounds back in 2 or 3 weeks. I was like, all right, I can.
Yeah, it's
but it took a minute because I was like, fuck, I don't even want to go to the gym anymore. Like, that's useless. I'm not going to be that dedicated. I've already fucking lost it. I don't want to go.
But then, boom, after that 2 weeks solid, you saw this weight coming back on, the depression starting to fade a little bit more.
Yeah. I think there's a decent amount of depression in bodybuilding is good for you.
Oh, 100%.
So, I mean,
it's going to help pull you
in
out of that
every
hole.
aspect of life. There's a depression factor that is good for you, whether it's financial or there's always a little place where you're like, oh, I'm not too happy with that. I'd like to make it better.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I think that's a good, healthy thing.
Definitely needs to be some aspect of that to keep you wanting to move forward, to kind of like spark that competitive side within you to kind of to push forward and get better. So after that 2 weeks, when was how was that first hit of weed and not getting a seizure? You take a puff and be like,
a bunch of edibles. No, I didn't want to smoke because my lungs.
Because of lungs. Okay, I got you.
I went to the dispensary and I bought like fucking $300 worth of edibles. Ate like 1,000 milligrams worth of fucking gummies, and it was good.
And then you were coasted for like 2 days.
Yeah, no, it was prime. I was good.
That was prime.
I was in the pocket.
That's a whole nother fucking level, bro, than smoking, right?
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's
yeah.
a full
Edibles
body.
are a different game. So
you can't eat any less.
No, yeah, you can't eat any less. That's for sure.
You eat whatever you eat, and then you gotta sit back for the ride, and buckle in. This man,
lasts a lot.
This man ate 1,000. Yeah.
What's a normal?
So usually, well, in California, right? It depends on whether you get it recreational or medical. Recreational, they only sell bags of 100 milligrams.
Yeah, you gotta eat like fucking
Only like every
like
bag
per.
If this whole bag is being sold, the whole bag is going to equate to 100 milligrams.
Wow. Okay, gotcha.
They sell you one little thing. This one little thing could be 100 milligrams, but that's the max. Now, if you have medical card, you can get a fucking 1,000 milligram fucking bag. You can get a 1,000 milligram brownie. 50, you know what I mean? But you know, in terms of recreation, you're limited to 100 milligrams. I don't know if it's the same here in Florida.
No, it is the same here. Yeah.
Gotcha.
There's no recreation here, so it's only medical.
Exactly.
Medical's only 100 milligrams.
Exactly.
But you can get some RSO oil, and I mean, it's already activated.
Like the tinctures
so you
and
can
shit?
just eat that.
True.
700 milligrams, so there is a way around it.
So wait, you just put the oil in your mouth?
Yeah, just oil, straight.
Just straight up.
1 gram is like 750.
Just like Clen, dude. You just toss
Clen it, bam.
Toss it back like some Clen, bro.
Perfect. Okay. Well, that works.
You know, you get you a couple of those, you're good.
You're good to go. Well, I don't know nothing. That's all you guys, man. I don't know about any of that. But okay, man. So after that, right? You started your weed, right? How quick did you decide? Because listen, we did have a talk, right? About 3 days after. He said he's never touching PDs again. That's it. He's done. And I knew it wasn't because of that. I knew it was a lot of the smoking and just, I knew it wasn't because of that. So how long did it take you to understand that it wasn't the drugs, the PDs, right? Guys, we don't even do a lot. I mean, I'm just fucking around here. We really don't even do a lot. But how long did it take you to add that back in?
Well, honestly, so here we go. I had my blood work done probably 65 times while I was in the hospital. Like literally 3 times a day they were drawing my blood. And at this point, I had taken a decent. I've never taken thousands of milligrams of drugs. Or I've never taken 1,000 milligrams of test and fucking 1,000 milligrams. Like I don't do that, right? I've taken a moderate dosage, like maybe more than average, but not fucking extreme.
Right.
But I got my blood done, and right before I went in the hospital, I was on a lot of drugs.
Yeah.
Like I was on a lot of drugs.
What were you on?
I think I was on at that time. I think I was taking Tren and Test. And I might have been taking Mastron.
No competition in mind at that point?
No, I never wanted to compete. Competing was not I didn't want to compete.
Do you remember what your doses were?
When?
For test mass?
I would be running like a standard dose, probably be like either 500 or 750 a test. If I was running it with Trent, it was probably 750 and then 400 and then 500.
Gotcha. So it's just standard dose, guys.
just your huge, bro.
Just usual.
For me, that's standard. That's
the standard dose.
Just 1.5 cc twice a week of tests. We're going to edit that out.
And eventually, guys, you give up. Like, you give up trying to save them. You know what I'm saying? You say, you know what? I taught you everything I know.
I mean, at this time, I didn't know, and I thought more meant more.
Well, it did more is more, actually, technically. But let's be honest, though. Even his cycle still is not pushing it, right?
You know,
it's still not bad.
There's a lot of these big open dudes that are taking double that.
Triple that.
I just thought more meant more. And it does, right? But you're only going to be able to progress so much in amount of time. Like, it doesn't matter how much you take to where, like, I was like, I don't need fucking...
So, you were in the hospital. What happened? With your blood work?
My blood work was just perfect every time. And I had just gone in the hospital. I was on a 10-week cycle of drugs. I'd been taking Trent for 6 weeks. None of my markers were fucked up. So I was like, what? There's no way steroids caused this. Because in my head, I was like, well, it has to be. Just fucking common denominator. I got sick. I take these drugs. That's what made me sick, period. We're going to just fucking redline that. It's not going to happen anymore. And I thought maybe that my immune system was less because I took steroids, which that's not true. Like, that's a misconception. I thought steroids made your fucking immune system less. I guess it's not true.
Yeah.
So I called a doctor. I was going to go to a clinic and get my drugs, or a different clinic and get my drugs, and then I decided that I would just go back and get it from the same doctor I was, and, you know, I don't think it was that.
And then he was back on. Now, you did compete, right?
Yeah.
You said you were never competing. He was never going to do it, okay? You called me one day and you said, dude, I want to do this fucking show. And what did I say to you?
You told me that I was a bitch. This is like really what happened. I didn't want to compete. And then something came up. Matt said, you're a bitch. You can't do it. You don't have the mental ability. And I was like, all right, word. Fuck you. I'm going to do this show. That was the clear motivation here. The only reason.
How far away from the hospital or getting out of the hospital was this conversation?
Well, I got out of the hospital in July.
Yeah.
Like the 7th of July, I think.
Something like that.
And then... when was the show?
December.
I prepped for 16 weeks.
So August, September, October, November. So I would say we started thinking about it probably a month after, bro.
Yeah,
it was quick.
There was no thinking.
It was quick.
I came to your house. I said, I'm going to do this show. And you said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. And then the rest is history, you know. And you murdered that shit. And not only did you make a comeback, you made the biggest comeback of fucking all time. You know, on the brink of death, losing fucking 50 pounds, looking like an absolute zombie. And I took the picture, and everyone actually got on me. I was like, why were you smiling at that picture? Like, when I was standing over your bed? Because I just knew, you know what I'm saying? I seriously just knew it. First of all, I knew you were going to be okay. I just knew. I had a feeling I knew, and I knew you were going to make the biggest comeback fucking ever. And you destroyed every expectation that I had, man. It was unbelievable, actually. And when we put those pictures up, not only from when you were big to then, but just like 6 months later, bro, like, you didn't let anything stop you. You mastered your mind, and you were like, you know what? I don't give a fuck if I'm about to die, right? I'm going to get healthy, and I'm going to change, and I'm going to come back. And you did it twice in your life. People can't do that shit once.
Yeah, for sure.
You did it fucking twice. So how was your first prep, man? How did that go?
That was good. I kind of liked it. Second time's easier than the first time. I already gone through a prep with you, so I knew, like, I didn't do the diet part, but the training part. Like, I know that aspect of it inside and out. I know I can go in the gym for an hour and 15 minutes and do my entire workout, do my cardio, and be done. Or I know if I wake up at 6, I can go do cardio, go home, get a shower, be in the gym for 45 minutes or an hour before work. So, like, the diet, it's a controllable and it's easier. You know what I mean?
I feel like you honestly undereat a lot,
yeah,
right?
I do. That's what I'm saying. Like, I will take myself to a degree of suffering where there is no question. Like, I'll just put my body in such a deficit. I don't care. It's probably not healthy, but, like, if that means that I don't eat until fucking one meal at night and I'm eating 8 ounces of chicken because I'm not happy with the progress I made that week and I got to do it for a week to get my weight to where I think it should be, and that's what I got to fucking do.
So, hey, he's mastered his mind and his ability to suffer. Like you said, you already had the training aspect of things with him, and then You know, you had the Matt call you a bitch and tell you
That
that,
was it, dude.
tell you that you can't fucking do it, and so now you're like, all right, fuck this. The challenge is on. Let's get it going. Fucking just give it to me. Then now you nailed down the diet. So basically 6 months after you were in the hospital, pretty much on the brink of death, then you came over to the Sarasota competition, or not Sarasota, excuse me, the Mel Chauncey Holiday Classic, and you did all 3 divisions.
Yeah, no, but originally we were only gonna do like the plan always was only to do men's physique. Like there was no classic, there was no bodybuilding until I walked in and Matt's like, "Oh, by the way, here's a swimsuit, bitch."
Go put this little thing on real quick, dude. You're like, hold on,
So,
what?
like,
That is
in
not
my
what happened at all.
I didn't practice the fucking men's physique posing at all, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't even know to practice classic or fucking bodybuilding.
So he not only didn't practice men's physique, he didn't practice bodybuilding or anything. And guys, I begged him to come over the house. And he would come over the
Yeah,
house.
he did. I'd come over and we'd post for like 4 minutes.
And then
I'm
he'd
like,
be
"All
done.
right, we're locked in here."
He's like, I'm
Fucking walking
perfect. So, you know, what really happened, guys, is that he was looking at Chris Bumstead and he's like, man, I think I could get there. I'm like, bro, it's your first show, bro. Let's go find out what division you want. You know, let's go have some fun.
Yep.
Let's get up there. And you still killed it, bro. You know, you still killed it. You still beat a lot of fucking guys. But I feel like physique for you, I've never seen somebody go out there like you did and still win, to be honest with you.
No, I should not.
You should not have won that.
No,
Dude,
I
the
feel
whole
not
thing.
good.
And you went out there. Okay, so bodybuilding was first, right?
Yeah.
You got slammed there, right?
Yeah,
You got fucking
100%
slammed.
murder.
You got classic was next. You got slammed there.
Yeah.
Still did good, but still, in my opinion, you got slammed. You just weren't first, right?
100%.
So what I think is coming out from men's physique, I knew he had a good look. I was like, he could do this
the
shit.
Conditioning's already there.
Conditioning's there. He looks
Fullness.
good. You walked out on stage. I think you brought a lot of that energy out from the past because you knew where you're going to go after that, right? You knew you lost. You literally walked out there was like, and I'm like, he looks fucking amazing. Like, he looks amazing, bro. You got it. And I'm like screaming at you. And so when you left, you know, I saw you tear up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Backstage.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Well, men don't admit that shit. But because I
might
said,
have. I cry.
'cause I-
Sometimes. I'll admit it 100%. I will cry.
I remember when you won. You were
Baby, I
crying.
will fucking
Yeah.
cry.
yeah, so you did tear up because I'm like, you won. And you just started tearing up, man. Because like, so how did that feel for you when you won?
I think at that point I didn't know I won. Right? Because there was like, I think there were 6 people in my class, right?
Something like that.
So there's 2 centers. I didn't know which one was.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the dude next to me like fell to the ground on his knees and he was like really fucking happy. So I was like, he won.
Yeah.
Not me. Like, what the fuck? So, and then I honestly thought probably even if I deserved to win, which I think I did. I mean, I suffered. I think I was in good conditioning. I don't think I won it for any reason other than I fucking earned it.
Yeah.
Like my posing didn't win it for me. Nothing won it for me except for the way that I looked.
Right.
But I think, or when I went out posing, dude, I like covered my number. I wasn't. I didn't. I was not good at posing. I would say
Yeah.
practice your posing. Feel like a real dickhead when you don't know what you're doing.
So I mean, that's what we have to harp on. We harp on that shit all the time. Posing
Yes.
is very, very, very critical component to this. However, if you walk out on stage doing everything and controlling every aspect of your prep, training intensity, the amount of food you eat, how much rest were you getting? Were you getting a lot of good rest, decent rest?
No,
he was, yeah, because
I'd
you're
be
your
up at
job
5
and
in
shit.
the morning.
So rest, not too key. But if you walk out there controlling as much as you can, earning the body in which would be competitive on stage, and then you get out there and you can sit there with your hands on your hips and then turn around, you're good.
That's it.
Yeah.
You did the work.
Yeah,
You
I
were
did
the
the
most
work,
conditioned guy on stage.
It just matters how much you want to suffer. I had a boss that taught me that. It was just
Do your
suffer.
posing.
So
That's
I mean,
it.
obviously do your posing, you can increase your chances, but there's always going to be that aspect. You don't really have to fucking know what you're doing 100%. Someone could walk on and just be undeniably better than you. And that's it. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They looked better. They won. It doesn't matter. They couldn't pose. It doesn't matter. There is there's a uncontrollable there.
And I feel like this is something that you can only really do with men's physique.
It's only men's physique. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you
There's because like the posing is really going to matter as you step up into another division, right? If you don't know how to
100%.
pose and hit a front double bicep,
Which
you're
I do not know how to
going
do.
to get fucked. So the fact that again that you only had to go up there, put your hands on your hips, and fucking have that pretty smile,
That
nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And you won.
Sure.
You know, and now that you did win, did you get some kind of like, I know you were probably shocked that you won at finals, right? I told you were going to win, but it's different when you actually do win, right? You won. Did you feel like a sense of like empowerment? Like, man, I could do this shit. Like, I know you did, but talk about it a little bit.
I mean, it felt good to win, obviously. Like, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, like, I knew probably 3 or 4 weeks out, I knew I looked like, I knew I was getting fucking lean. I could see parts of my body coming out that were just, like, super vascular and fucking getting grainy. So I knew that I was going to be, like, there was no chance I was going to let anyone out-condition me. At least in my class that I knew I was doing, I was not going to be out-conditioned. Like, it was one of those things. So, like, you know, I kind of knew going into it that I looked good for that class, but I didn't think, you know, I was going to win. And then once I did, it was rewarding. Like, I felt, you know, even with, like, shitty circumstances, it doesn't matter fucking what gets thrown at you. Like, I wrecked my fucking truck. Just everything that could have fucked my day up every day during this prep just kept fucking me. And I'd come out and be like, bro, fuck this, dude. Like, I don't even want to do this anymore. This is bullshit. Like, I don't care about the diet, but I can't catch a fucking break. And, you know, it was, you know, all that in the end, that made it worth it. Like, being able to walk out and be like, all right, I fucking did it. Now I know I can do it. If I want to go further, I'm able to do that now. Like, so I think it was good. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I think that, you know, a lot of people, I want to ask you, man, you know, you arguably have some of the best genetics I've ever seen as far as building muscle, but you were a big guy. You were a fat guy. Very. People use this word genetic, so I'm not genetically gifted, so I can't do a show. You just slapped all of them in the face with it, right? So what do you have to say to those people that just think because they're fat, they can never get to your conditioning or never be able to get on stage?
I think it's just an excuse.
Yeah.
You get comfortable and then you make excuses. It's like big boned. You know what I mean? It's just like, you're coddled your entire life. We live in a time when nobody's allowed to tell you you're fucking fat, which, I mean, fat shaming sucks, right? And it sucks to hear, but if you're fat and somebody tells you you're fat, you're either going to get really fucking sad and get better, or you're going to get really sad and continue to eat, in which case you didn't want to get better, so you're going to keep getting called fucking fat. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and it sucks, but you can control it.
Yeah.
You can. There may be a small portion of the people who need some sort of counseling or truly have an addiction and can't. I accept that. Get the help you need.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
you know,
to be fat with no excuse and then bitch that it's your genetics or your family's fat. Well, does your family all eat fucking 23,000 calories a meal?
Exactly.
Probably why you're all fat.
The usual thing is, right? It's genetics, and it runs in my family. And then it's like, bitch, ain't nobody running your goddamn family. What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody gets off the couch.
Ever.
You know my biggest pet peeve as far as like women is these fat bitches, right? That say, I don't want to get, I'm sorry, man. It's these fat bitches that are like, oh, I don't want to get too bulky. I don't work out because I don't want to get too bulky. Do they not realize that this much fat is about 5 pounds, right? Yeah. This much muscle is about 5 pounds. So you think you working out is going to get you big and get you bulky and you don't get too much muscle? You need to lose the fucking fat. Like, you need to do the diet and lose the fat. The muscle's not the problem. No. It's the 30, 40, 50, 60 pounds of unnecessary fat on your physique. And people make so many excuses, man. I'm tired of it, man. I'm tired of people saying that they want to do it and they're just lazy, bro. They're lazy to do it. They don't have the commitment, but something has to happen in their life to change that, right? And I do believe that. I hope people see this podcast and don't think that we are just straight up talking shit about fat people and just, it's really not what it's about, guys. Right. It's about trying to wake your mind up and teach you that you can change like Justin did, man. This man went from being fat, right, to one of the fucking greatest physiques and the best transformations that I've ever done, right? And it can happen. So
absolutely,
I hate being so negative about it, but
yeah, we don't want to be negative about fat people.
All right, maybe he doesn't be negative. I don't know. I'm speaking for myself, guys.
This is gonna get flipped into one of those rage baits, but stop being fat.
That's it.
But that's just the thing. The biggest excuse that they always
I'm not fat. I swear to God, I did. It's all the muscle.
the biggest excuse is for females is I don't want to get too bulky. And just like you said, that's just a huge fucking excuse for them not to make an effort to then better themselves, which sucks. Which in the back of their mind, they have this whole entire just view and visual of themselves looking the way that they want to look. They have some want to get there, but they never take any action towards it. It's all about, they're all fucking talk. Stop being all fucking talk and be less fat.
It's that simple. And don't be scared to go work out, man. And and I have to say, guys, I have to say this. For women specifically, if you're really a big girl, right, that's really hard to get in shape. I've actually had a talk with a few of my clients about this. Like, we'll all suffer them down, bro. And I know these girls diet. Like, they diet hard. Their metabolism's horrible. Yeah. I'm like, you know what, dude? Fuck this. Let's just get as strong as we fucking can, right? And, like, this is when I do think that powerlifting is kind of cool. Like, just because I know sometimes people just maybe they don't have the discipline to diet or their hormones are so messed up where it's hard for them to lose weight. But these girls, bro, and men, they can get so strong. Dude, that's why if you look at, like, powerlifting, bro, these guys are fat guys. Like, but they are the strongest guys in the fucking world. Oh, yeah. Like, and there's massive respect to them. So sometimes you have to flip it. Like, don't be so scared to maybe turn it and be like, you know what, fuck it. If I can't get skinny, I'm gonna get strong as fuck. Yeah. I'm just gonna get super strong. So there is two ways to look at it. But yeah, no more. Put the fork down. It's not hard. Majority of the time.
There's no real excuse to be fat. Even if you're a power lifter, you know what I mean. You can do some cardio. If you want to eat a lot, do some more cardio. Outwork it. You don't have to eat that much to be that big.
But
you have to consciously do it. There's stages. You don't just eat a donut and weigh 500 fucking pounds.
No, you have to happen. You have to drink the whole syrup.
17 fucking donuts for 17 years. Yeah. And then you weighed 100 and 200 and 300 and 400. And then you got confirmation bias the entire way by all of the people who are supposed to be positive influences in your life saying, it's okay, honey, it's good, and feeding you. And this whole time, you're just destroying your life. And you can look at it any way you want, being mean or not. It's not being mean. It's just a fact.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not healthy. It's not healthy to take PEDs. I understand that. It's the same. I probably have the same risk of having a heart attack as somebody who weighs 400 pounds.
100%.
So, like, it's not healthy. It's just you have to pick your poison. Do you want to die from being 400 pounds and never being able to move? No, not really.
Or do you want to die looking like Greek god, taking some Trent?
Yeah,
I would much rather die like that.
Exactly.
But
either way, I'm dying at 40. So
I mean, that circles back to this one point, which is that I hear a lot is I would die for my family, right? We hear that all the time.
You're gonna die because you're fat,
right? But would you live for your family?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? What are you doing right now in order to live for your family better? Are you taking better care of yourself, or are you continuously shoving 17 donuts into your fat body?
And I like donuts.
And I fucking love donuts. Everybody knows that I fucking love donuts.
This man is a donut master.
I'll eat 17 donuts a day.
I don't like donuts.
I got a membership there, pretty much. But it's just like at that point when you keep shoveling this food in your mouth and going the opposite direction of the health, you're essentially just burying yourself alive. That's all you're really doing.
You're burying yourselves alive, and that's why you see it's always so sad, and it really is truly sad, man. Like, you'll see these influencers, right? Oh, it's good to be fat. It's good to be fat, and they're eating all this food, posting all over, dead. Yeah. The next person does it. Oh, it's good to be fat. Don't fat shame me. Dead.
Crazy how that happens.
Come on, man.
Glorify it. Shouldn't glorify it, and I would never ever say that somebody should just go attack somebody for being fat or make fun of them. If they're in the gym trying to better themselves, you give those people like the absolute respect because they're in there against all fucking odds. Yeah, they may have stacked the odds against themselves, but the odds are stacked against them, and they're in there doing everything they fucking can to try and fix their life.
100%.
You know what I mean? There's a certain amount of respect for that.
Well, now that you're big, man, I could speak for myself, but when you see like somebody, a fat person in there busting their ass, you've seen them for weeks, they're busting your ass. Does that give you some motivation now?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? I love seeing that. People that want to get better, it gives you hope for for everything. You know what I mean? Because people don't just go in the gym to better the way they look. It may start with that, but you end up bettering every part of your life. Absolutely. If you get physically in good shape and you feel good physically, you will inadvertently have a better life. That's almost, at least in my experience, a fact.
So you think that because you got your body together, you think that your entire quality of life has gotten better?
Yeah, I mean, I think my quality of life gotten better. I think that the people that I interact with has gotten better. It's opened more doors in business for me. Like, you command a different level of I don't want to say respect, but you attract a different level of person when they know that you're able to dedicate yourself to something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's
100%.
there's a different, it's different.
Like when you walk in the room versus your old self and versus your new self, right? If you shake the hand of your old self, you're kind of out of shape. You know what I'm saying? And then the new person walks in and you shake your hand and this person's like, holy fuck, man. This guy's got his shit together. Look how much muscle he has. Wow. How many compliments you get on your fucking physique, bro?
I mean, quite a few. A lot of people tell me I look pretty good.
Fucking everyone, bro.
Yeah.
Everyone, dude, everyone. People even come up to me now like, dude, where you see that big guy you used to train, bro? He comes in. I seen him the other day. He's a monster. Like, dude, you get it all the fucking time. And exactly what you said, man, it really does open doors because you have to have that respect for me. Like, I look the part. We look the part. We've put in 15 years. Yeah. So would you rather do business with somebody who's out of shape or would you rather do business with somebody who's in shape?
Just in every aspect. I would want to pick somebody who's been in shape, whether it's with personal training or construction or whatever it is. Like, in my experience, I know you have a different level of dedication. Mm-hmm. Like, you're willing to do things differently, whether you're suffering for work, like you're willing to dedicate your time to something. So my experience with you as a person is going to be better. Like, I can almost guarantee you any person that I meet in the gym is going to have a better interaction with whatever aspect in business that they do. If they've dedicated the time and they're in shape,
absolutely,
chances are that their work is dialed, that their scheduling's dialed, that their regiment is there, that they're dependable. Like, there's a lot of good qualities about someone who goes to the gym and dedicates it every day that translate to everyday life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's probably kind of like the military. You know, when you wake up, tell them.
So, I mean, it's just a lot of reinforcement, right? So in the military, yeah, you have to wake up and you got to get these small wins. So the first thing that they have you do every fucking day is make your bed, right? Yeah. And so that's like the first thing. So boom, you wake up, came out of your bed, boom, get out of it, make it. That's a win right there, you know. That's the first thing, and then you continue on with your day. The other things that we have to do is considered like a daily 8, right? So we have to clean up a room, make sure everything's tidy, boom, 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 throw the trash out, and then you're out the door and you go to work. So these things get looked at. There's inspections, you know, all that type of stuff. Now, it's not the same degree as bodybuilding, right? You know, obviously, you are left to your own accord. You do have a coach who then ensues a plan. However, it is your choice and your determination whether or not you choose to fucking do it. In the military, they're forcing you to do these things, but at the same time, there are a level of person who these things just come easy to. You know, I was one of those guys like, dude, this is nothing. I've done chores all my fucking life now. All right.
Were you lifting already when you went into the military, though? Did you have some
mainly, yeah, absolutely. But mainly for like sport, it was nothing necessarily for me to be like, I want to have the best body in the world.
No, but you were a regular in the gym.
Right. So, but yeah, I was very active. I grew up playing sports, did all that type of shit. And then while I was in the Marine Corps, yeah, I found a love for bodybuilding. But at the same time, it was more, how can I be bigger, faster, stronger, and more efficient as a warrior? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Versus, I want to have the best body. Yeah. But, you know, it all came down to, boom, reinforcement of continuing just disciplines and then building different habits, more discipline there, and then you get out and you can apply that to the world. And there's just a lot of things that can absolutely translate to the benefit of you know, civilian life, but then also adding bodybuilding things and doing more bodybuilding things. It's just, again, more reinforcement of the discipline that I've already was accustomed to. Now we're just adding and implementing different habits as we continue to go. But yes, understanding a complete bodybuilding prep and taking on that challenge just like you've led to is going to set you up for a better life, a better quality of life, because not only can you apply these things that you've learned in a bodybuilding prep, but they can go to a lot of other aspects.
Yeah, not even a bodybuilding prep, honestly. Just getting your life right.
Yeah, 100%.
In the gym, you know, just showing up every day. You don't have to be. You don't have to compete.
You don't.
Like, it's not about competing. It's just like, do you want to feel better?
Yep.
If you dedicate that time, you know, just you get out of it what you put into it.
100%.
Yep. 100%. And it obviously paid off for you. Yeah. You know, nationals coming up. Are we doing it or what? Are you gonna be a little bitch? Let's call you bitch on the podcast or what, bro? Are we gonna bitch out this time?
No, we're not.
You know what I'm saying? You heard it first, guys. Okay, so if it is, you know what to do. You know.
So that's
what definitely can't bitch out now.
That's July 7th.
Is it July 4th? I think it's July 4th.
Is it July 4th
or 5th? Yeah.
Okay.
So I think the guys go on like Saturday, which I am so fucking excited, man. Like, and what's the main thing we've been talking about that we want to do when we go to New York?
Oh, buying watches.
Buying watches, bro. Yeah, Moses be over there. We going to Moses' shop. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, so we're definitely going there. But it's I'm so excited for freaking nationals. We have so many great quality athletes going, and I'm pumped, dude. So how you feeling? You feel like you're going to do this or what?
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I literally call him every day. I'm like, we don't, we'll do it. Yeah. And then until he just locks in. And then when he locks in, he's good. But we got to lock in, motherfucker. It's 12 weeks. So you've been dropping weight. You're going down there.
No, we've been prepping. It's just, been drinking a Diet Coke or two.
See?
We've been prepping.
Got to fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? It's time to brace that suffering, man.
Yeah.
No,
we're headed to water only. It's been water only for the last week. It's not
he called me today. What did he say to me today?
Yeah, this morning I called him because he sent my plans out again, and it doesn't say anything about coffee, and I didn't have any caffeine at all last week because he said no energy drinks anymore. And I was like, bro, you got it.
I need coffee.
Like, you got to do something. I
thought coffee was a no-brainer.
Yeah, I will quit right the fuck now.
So we gave him his coffee back, which I never took it. I thought coffee was no-brainer. It's on your plan, motherfucker.
I didn't read it.
It says 2 coffees a day.
Well, I just assumed energy drinks and coffees that it was unacceptable, and I was like, yeah, this is not it. This cannot be it. I'll do another not national show. Yeah. This is not it.
Yeah. So how I coach guys is that there is a limit of caffeine that I allow my clients to do, right? 700, 800 milligrams is the max. And the thing is, people don't understand that. If you do an energy drink a day, that's like 300 milligrams caffeine. 2 cups of coffee a day, that's about 90, 90, 180. So you're talking plus pre-workout, you're already over 900. Yeah. You can't, and then that's without a fat burner. Yeah. If you add in a caffeine fat burner, now you're over 1,000 milligrams of test. You can't do that. No. Or 1,000 milligrams of test. Shit, look where I'm at, right? 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. You just got to be careful with that. So that's why I do it. But dude, you can absolutely drink your coffee.
Oh yeah, I will be drinking my coffee.
So what's the hardest part of prep for you then?
I think the first 3 weeks are probably the hardest for me.
You think?
Like getting locked in. Yeah, because it's been 5 weeks now, I think?
Something like that.
What are we, 12 weeks out?
12 weeks out.
So it's been 4 weeks. The first 3 weeks suck for me. I hate it. I don't like the transition. I don't like the transition. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go back to limiting myself. I want to be able to still eat whatever I want. Yep. The first 3 weeks is rough, I think. At least in the last time, that was the hardest part. This time it seems to be. This week, I think I was able to click where it doesn't really matter anymore. I don't really care. It's not food for taste. It's food for fucking, because I have to have it. And I'm only going to take what I absolutely have to have. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to get to where I need to be. So, like I said, I think, we've been doing it for 5 weeks and I'm 25-ish pounds down. So that's always been my hard part is dieting. I have a lot of underlying mass. So it's it's never been growing into the show. It's dieting into it. Yeah.
Do you think he's too big for men's physique? You think his arms are too big?
I think if he turns pro, you're gonna be close to your fucking max.
I think he's beyond his max. I think his arms are fucking bigger than my head, dude. His arms are insane. His arms are huge. It's fucking huge. And when he gets, we didn't even train arms. That's the thing people don't understand. Why is his arm so big? We didn't even train arms for the entire fucking prep.
No, I haven't been able to train arms in fucking 25 weeks. Yeah,
bro, it's gonna fucking blow up.
The last prep or this prep, so however long it's been. I haven't trained arms really. Maybe a set of curls, never more than 3 sets of curls.
How tall are you?
I think 6
foot, 6'1", maybe something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so you turn pro like me. Like I said, I'm 5'11" to 6 foot, so that is 217. So you're gonna be ahead of me. So you're probably 220.
My weight cap's 224.
Yeah, and I think it was 220 at the show. So yeah, you're gonna be close.
So you get 210 this time.
Let me ask you something. Does the mullet make you a better bodybuilder?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
How much extra points?
I think if you walking around with a mullet, people already judge you like you're white trash, so it's just easier. You're used to people looking at you like you're a piece of shit, so it's just judges look at you. It's not really any different. Every other day, people are staring at you like you're a piece of shit regardless. So you're either going to get a reward for being the biggest piece of shit or you're not. But that's
I disagree. Okay, I think the mullet actually. I've been more successful with the mullet than I have without one. You know,
100%.
You think that? You think the same?
Yeah, dude. I remember when I started the mullet. That was during your first prep.
Yeah.
That was.
And then I had to catch up.
We were both getting fucking regular fades or some shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna get a mullet, and then I grew this straight hair ass mullet for fucking 3 months, and you're like, I'm getting a mullet too, and I was like, let's fucking run it.
And then we pretty much the rest is history.
All around.
Yeah.
It's been mullets for fucking 4 years.
And now my son's got a mullet. Yeah. His son had a mullet for a little bit. Dustin said he's gonna grow a mullet, right?
Oh yeah.
It's only mullet.
Bro, can you imagine him with a mullet?
Yeah, Dustin needs one.
Bro, people sleep on that shit. I'm for real.
If I don't see you at your pro show with a mullet, I'm gonna be disappointed.
His son's
it
so
out with
cute
curls.
too, because it's like curly. It's like really curly, bro.
Really.
Like it is it's such a good mullet, bro. You know. So guys, if you want at least 10 extra points on stage, you got to grow that mullet.
You got a perm it though. Unless you got curly hair. I don't have curly hair, so I need to get a perm.
I remember he used to go permits for a while.
I did.
Oh yeah.
For like a year and a half, he'd get his perm.
I'm actually getting a perm on Thursday.
No shit.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
You doing the top and the everything?
Not just the back.
Just the back? Is
Look-
it
look
top
real.
real long now or no?
No, I got the top cut.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
it's not too bad.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I had to get my tattoo brought out.
that's true. Yeah, what's the tattoos there?
It's white trash.
Let me see it. Yeah, it looks real good when it's cut, though, boys. Okay,
yeah, it's clean.
looks real
Growing a
good.
little bit.
You know what I looked actually? We have 90% men that follow the podcast. So shout out to you, men, but also guys, women. We want you guys to watch too. Okay, there's only 10% of you guys that watch. We need more women watching this podcast.
What do we got to do to get more women to watch this podcast?
I think we need to get
Matt,
less.
take your shirt off.
I think exactly. Well, I'm fat right now, boys. All right, I'm fat right now. I don't know. I might steer people away. You take your shirt off, bitch. That's funny, man. That's awesome, man. Well, Justin, man, it was an absolute pleasure getting you on here and talking, man. Seriously, one of my best friends for life, man. I am so proud of you, dude, for coming this far. I tell you all the time, I know. And men are so tough, man. We're so stubborn. Like, we don't like show much emotion, man. But Justin he does show some emotion sometimes. You got to get out of him. I'm never going to forget, man. You know, last little story, you know, when we were going to my national show, right? And we were literally about to get on the plane. Something happened when he wasn't able to get on the plane. He was literally bawling, bro.
Yeah, it was
Like
rough.
bawling because he couldn't go. It was my national show. So you know what he did?
I think that night I went home, spent like $1,200 on a plane ticket, drove back up, rented a fucking car. I was like, I ain't missing that shit. I'll be there tomorrow.
And he literally flew out and lost the money for that. Had to buy new plane tickets to come support me for nationals. It was crazy. So that's the level of discipline, man, that, you know, he definitely
That's
had for
love right
me.
there.
And I would never be where I'm at today without Justin. So everyone's, if you see him in the gym, come up, give him a hug, man. You know, let him know. And you're gonna get a lot of hugs now, but we have a lot of people following this podcast. Just come up. He's a nice guy, all right? He might look like he's a bear, but go give him a hug for me, all right? Because he's been kicking ass. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, man. Dustin, what do you got, man?
Appreciate you very
Appreciate you
much,
guys.
man. That story is very inspiring, man. Hopefully, it touches a lot of our listeners and viewers out there, man. Because you've come from, you know, broken to fucking, or fat to broken, or no, fat to jacked to broken to fucking jacked, and
winning a fucking show.
Won the fucking show that you didn't want to compete in because he calls you a bitch.
He didn't want to compete. And he won anyway.
Like, come on, man, that's an amazing story. But anyway, you know what I'm saying?
I actually texted Matt the other day, and I was like, bro, I'm gonna need some negativity.
Yeah.
No, you literally did.
Like, you gotta tell me I'm a bitch or something. This isn't working.
Well,
You're telling me I can fucking do it.
You're a bitch, and then we're going back to nationals.
Absolutely. So yeah, first of all, let's get some more women on this podcast. Please hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, bell notification so you know when we're posting more of these videos. And again, thank you so much for tuning in and watching this episode. Much love, many blessings, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's go.
Let's go, baby.